Chris, it's great to see you today, and it's the eve of what could be a very, very special day for yourself and your family. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, we're okay. It's a little bit strange in a way of being on, the day before what potentially could happen. But ultimately it is, the day before a game, so you're doing your normal things. And yeah, being asked about, the 100 cap is a little bit strange because it's sort of, in the team to play, but it hasn't actually happened yet. So yeah, it's a nice feeling. It's one that, as much as possible, just try and keep everything a little bit normal. And then, after the game or Sunday, sort of look back and reflect on it. But yeah, trying to just keep everything a little bit more normal at the moment.
We're all pretty sure that it will happen. You'll become the first Welshman to reach that feat. Does that make it a bit more sweet?
Not in terms of being the first, or sometimes people say, do you think you'll ever get beaten? Or it's not something to beat, or I haven't won just because I'm the first. It's just a number and a tally that no one will match or beat. It's not a competition. It's just a thing that you get a cap every time you play, and I've just been very fortunate to have been picked more, or been able to have been picked more than other players. Because I am the first, naturally brings a little bit more, I think, attention. And it means a huge amount, whether you're the first or however many has done it before you or after you. Is it's the most biggest thing in your career to play for your country once. Is outside of of the hotel, there's boys and girls up and down the country that would give anything to experience 1 week, one game playing for your country. So it's something that you should never take for granted. Of to have done it as many times as I have, and the experiences and memories it's given me, it's tough to put into words. So it means more than how I could ever sort of explain it in words, really.
Because when you look at the past and the players that have represented Wales over the years, some of them haven't got anywhere close to 100. That just stresses, how much of a phenomenal achievement it is.
Yeah, it's confusing, isn't it? It's how they haven't and I have. That'll never be answered, I don't think, because it doesn't make much sense to me. And yeah, there's times without being silly, that there's better players that have played for Wales before me. So it's not just it's not obviously on ability, because some of the players we have in the team now that we have had, going right back through the years of Wales, we've had some real superstars. So yeah, it's a strange one in terms of how did they not, but there's an element of obviously hard work, of always making sure you're available to play, and maintaining a certain level of performance, and also there's elements of good fortune as well, probably added up in there as well. So I think that's why it's a real blessing. I think that if I can get to 100 caps, it, like I say, is something that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Maybe when I finish and look back, it'll add up a bit more. But yeah, at the moment it's all a bit of a strange thing, but one that you need to enjoy, because from when you were a kid, joining Cardiff when I was 7 or 8, an evening like tomorrow is probably why you sacrifice so much through your career to sort of achieve a real big thing, I suppose.
100 caps, but still as humble as ever. Chris Gunter, you've mentioned that you're not thinking about the future and being the first one, but you'll be written in the history books forever. You'll be in every pub quiz question forever as well.
I'll be in the pub.
And we'll be there with you, Chris. You've mentioned, the sacrifices that you've made, your family, parents have any footballer, they've had to make tremendous sacrifices. Have you spoken to them? How will they be feeling tomorrow?
I don't know. I think probably a little bit strange. But yeah, pride probably beyond belief. Really, they go through everything with you. You know, from a young age, the sacrifices that those two made, along with my brother. You know, growing up. You know, training 3 nights a week at Cardiff, and you know the hours they put in driving and making sure everything was ready for me is, you know, this is sort of just the end bit. Is, you know, you don't just get to that position. So yeah, for them, I think they always feel it more when it's not going well. I think footballers are quite good at, you know, we go into training the next day and, you know, you're around the rest of the team and sort of try and move on and look to the next game. Your parents especially are the ones who sometimes don't know what to say to you and sometimes walking on eggshells, I suppose. Yeah, so hopefully they, well, I know they are. I wouldn't need to tell them, you know, to enjoy it. But yeah, for those, and my brother especially, who've been there from the very beginning, yeah, I'm more happy they're proud, if that makes sense, than anything else. So yeah, it'll mean an awful lot to them, and you know, rightly so, because the work that those three especially have put in is more than I've done.
A crying shame that they won't be able to be at the stadium to witness it. A crying shame that the Red Wall won't be there either. They consider you to be, you know, a part of the Red Wall. That's how much you mean to the fans. Does that play on your mind at all, that it will be an empty stadium? No,
it's something now I think you've almost got used to in, you know, the last year in football of there being, you know, no one there. Yeah, people have mentioned it, but no, it certainly wouldn't dampen my experience on the evening. In saying that, of course, if the fans were there, but I suppose in a way, personally, it doesn't. It would probably add to the experience, I suppose, if they was there, because, you know, the support I've had over the last couple of years is something, and genuinely does confuse me slightly of why. So in a way, I'm glad they're not there, because I'm not really one for the attention and stuff like that anyway. So at least I can avoid that. I know whenever it is, at some point there'll be an opportunity. You know, they'll probably want to thank me, which again they certainly don't need to. More for me to them, and there will be an opportunity at some point. So yeah, the crying shame is that, you know, there's a Wales game happening and they can't be there, and we certainly miss them, because they're a huge part of what we do as a team, and the sooner they're back the better, because we're okay without them, but you know, we're a lot better when they're all there. So they know how much they mean to the team and to myself, and yeah, the sooner they're back the better, and yeah, then I can thank them for all their support when they are.
Looking back at the last decade or so since you came through as a youngster, you've been there through the good times and the bad times. How much does it mean to you and to the team as a collective? Because you're all so close, aren't you?
Yeah, we've had some good, bad and normal times through that. The good ones really stick out on the bad, so there's some that now are almost a blur, I think, that over the years. Yeah, it does mean more. You know, you sometimes can't experience the good times without going through a little bit of pain, and you know, there's some obvious things that stand out, you know, beyond football in terms of losing, you know, Gary Speed as manager. You know, that's nothing to do with football. That's something that, you know, you can't even almost mention football in the same thing as that. And yeah, as a squad, we've, you know, stuck together and come through it with each other. You know, some bad defeats, some bad times where, you know, people question, you know, performances and stuff like that. And yeah, as a team, as a group of footballers, we've, you know, come through it. But you know, we're very fortunate with the staff we have. You know, there's, you know, if you came in to have food with us on a normal day, the hotel is probably 30 staff who, you know, will do anything for this group of players, and we're very well supported. We're the ones that get all the praise on the pitch, but there's people that give their life and soul to this country in terms of the football side. So yeah, it means an awful lot, and when we can then go out on the weekend and get a good result, you know, we know it makes them happy and proud, and also the millions back home watching. So we're in a very privileged position, and one that, you know, you should never take for granted, and one that, yeah, we enjoy together, which is probably the most important thing.
You were 17 when you got your first cap. If you could go back, what would you tell 17-year-old Chris Gunter?
Buckle up, man. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. I'm not sure. To be honest, I've gone through my career, and you know, there's no regrets of anything. Fans would probably know more than most, the ones who have seen the games, is, you know, I can never ever guarantee me how I play in terms of a, you know, performance, but you know, just gone in every day, whether that be club or country, and giving my best and just being honest. You know, if you can do that, then I think people appreciate it. Certainly back in Wales, you know, the supporters and the public, you know, that's all they want, is to see somebody on the pitch that is trying. There's been some bad games in there, so if I get that support, then it proves that, you know, they just want people that care as much as they do. So no, the message would be, you know, be honest, you know, be a good team player, and yeah, enjoy it, because I probably, when I look back, you don't enjoy it as much as when you're involved in it, because, you know, the next game's always the most important. So yeah, enjoy it, and yeah, fasten your seatbelt, I think.
Diolch, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.